What's up, guys? It's your man, Donovan Sharpe, currently the hardest working man on YouTube. I can't remember the last day that I didn't do a live stream. I think I'm on like number maybe 10 or 11 in a row. Anyway, I like doing what I do, so here I am. Hope you guys had a good Saturday, good Sunday afternoon to you guys. Let's go ahead and get started. So this particular article, this particular topic was submitted by one of my patrons by the name of Jimmy. He actually sent me this article that was also accompanied by a video, and I'm going to talk about them both. And this, of course, is about the number of partners that women have, or that women admit to having. So what we're going to do is we're going to look and we're going to break down the video first, and then we're going to break down the article. And listen, I think it's an understatement when I tell you that this is just the hilarity just ensues. We're going to break this all down. So let's go down here. I'm going to make the sound switch. All right, guys, here we go. We're going to watch the video once, and then I'm going to go back and I'm going to break down each and every woman. Here we go.
I would probably say 5 or 6.
Here we go.
Do I have time to count? 6.5. I think it's like 8 or 9.
Oh, God.
I have not counted. Few.
I'm gonna plead the fifth on that one.
I counted because I listed it today just to make sure.
Oh, listen to this chick.
9.
Oh, 9.
12. 28.
Oh,
Oh, Jesus.
now, listen, I got to stop it right here. Look at this chick, man. You already know this chick has been ran through. You guys can tell, man. You can look at her, and when she comes back, this is sort of like a 2-part interview because they kind of set it up. But you can tell this chick has a high notch count. This is exactly why she said, "Oh Jesus!" But then when you hear her answer, this is just typical females, guys. Here we go.
Oh, I don't believe in counting.
Oh, I don't believe in counting. Yes, I'm sure you don't. Yes. Translation: I have slept with a lot of guys.
I have had actually not that many partners, but I had one really serious.
I've never really counted,
Here we go.
but I'd say it's in the teens, early 20s.
I have a list, but my boyfriend watches this. He might break up with me.
Okay, so that's the end. Wait, hold on. Okay, so that's the end of the video. Now we're gonna go through each and every one of these girls. We're gonna break them down one by one. Well, I'm gonna tell you who's telling the truth and who's lying.
I would probably say 5 or 6.
Lies. 5 or 6. Look at her face. Look at her face. She knows she's full of it. 5 or 6. Her eyebrows are arched. I hope you guys believe this, but 5 or 6. No, sweetie, try 50 or 60. I'm like, seriously? You want us to believe that you have had 5 or 6 partners? You know that's not true.
Do I have time to count?
Do I have time to count? This one's keeping it real. This one has slept with a lot of guys, and she's just keeping it 100. And by the way, the fact that they look like they are caught by surprise, this tells us that they sat down for this interview, and this was just a question that was just sprung on them. They were not ready for this question. And you can tell by their reactions because they're like, oh my God, I can't believe they're asking this. Right? Now, all of these, the thing is this. Only the girls who actually give numbers, they are lying. But the girls who are like, dude, I can't think of a lie. I can't think that quick on my feet. I'm just going to keep it real. Do I have time to count? Right? And it's also a badge of honor. I've slept with a lot of guys. Do I have time to count? Ho, 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 ho.
6.5.
6.5? No, look at this girl. What is she, like a 7? Dude, 6.5. Dude, she knows it's more than 6. So she's like 6.5. Oh, good God. Look how she laughs as if to say, they'll never know I've had sex with 600 guys. Unbelievable.
I think it's like 8 or 9.
Wait, hold on. I got to rewind that. I think it's like 8 or 9. And see how she nods at the end? Watch this.
I think it's like 8 or 9.
8 or 9? Dude, I think, watch her nod. She's like, I think it's like 8 or 9. And she's nodding like, you guys believe me, don't you?
I have not counted.
See, she was caught by surprise. She said, I space have not counted. She was gonna keep it real, but she's like, I don't want to tell these guys. I don't want to tell these people I've slept with 248 guys. So I haven't counted. No, that's translation. I stopped counting at 150.
Few.
The girl's loud.
On that one.
See, she kept it real. I plead the fifth on that one. She just told him straight up, listen, I've had sex with a lot of guys, but I know that girls look bad if they have sex with a lot of guys. So I'm just going to keep it real. Right?
I counted because I...
Oh, now this chick is the liar of all liars. And look, she's got her figures out. Okay, so I counted, I did the mathematical equation, and I listed them all. So I'm right. And watch when she actually says her number. Everyone knows she's lying. Even just watch.
I'm gonna plead the fifth on that.
Watch.
I counted because I listed it today just to make sure. 9.
9. Look at her eyes shift around. This is funny. Watch this. Watch.
That one. I counted because I listed it today just to make sure. 9.
9, right? She kept it out of the double digits. Look at her. 9. It's almost as though she's looking at God, please forgive me for A, sleeping with 287 guys, and B, lying to these people that have only slept with 9 guys. 9.
5?
She's like, 5? As if she is asking, do you believe I've slept with 5 guys? As if I don't know myself? 12. That was just too quick. That's a lie. They asked her, they sprung it on her. How many guys have you slept with? 12. No, sweetie. That's the first number that came to your mind. We didn't ask you how many days are in the 12 days of Christmas song. No, we asked you how many partners you've had. Then the first number that came to your mind was 12.
28.
Oh my God, 28 space ish. Watch this again. Look at her shrug her shoulders because she's uncomfortable for 2 reasons. Number 1, she's uncomfortable because she's lying. And number 2, she knows her number is well over 28-ish. Watch.
5?
Watch.
12. 28.
The shoulder shimmy? You guys gonna believe it? I know they're not gonna believe I know they're not gonna believe me if I say 7. So I know they're not gonna believe the teens 28-ish. No, sweetie. 228-ish. Look at her face. She looks repulsed by herself. She's like, oh my God, I slept with 228 guys. How disgusting am I?
Oh Jesus.
This is my girl right here. She's like, oh Jesus, she's caught. Now listen. Now this is funny. You guys heard on the first go round, she's like, oh Jesus. Then she says, well, I didn't really count, but at last tally it was the teens, early 20s. This is why you know she's lying, okay? Because when she was asked the question, she said, oh, Jesus. If it really was the teens or the 20s, she wouldn't have said, oh, Jesus. Look, let's say her notch count really was 19. She would not have this reaction. Just watch.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, Jesus. Listen, she knows her notch count is in the triple digits. That's why that's where she's, oh, my God, I got to think of an answer. She's counting. Ooh, I mean, 100s, 200s.
Oh, I don't believe in counting.
Oh, I don't believe in counting. Look at her on her moral high horse. Oh, I don't believe in counting. Yeah. You don't believe in counting after you hit 148, right? Well, I'm just not going to count. I don't believe in counting. No, you know you've slept with a lot of guys, and by sleeping with a lot of guys, it makes you look bad. That's all there is to it. This has nothing to do with whether you quote unquote believe in counting or not. It's, dude, the female mind is just, it is hilarious. Women, yeah, they either lie or they're on their moral high ground. Well, I don't believe in counting.
I have had
Oh, this girl is funny.
actually not that many.
Not that many. Look at her. She's lying. I have had not that many. She's lying. And then she says, but
So I had one really
one, she's shaking her finger. One really serious. No, they asked you how many guys you slept with, not how many serious boyfriends you've had. This is the girl that says, well, I haven't slept with not that many. And by the way, these are the ones who have slept with the most dudes, right? If they don't give a number, listen, all these girls have slept with a lot of guys, but if they don't give a number, it's so hilarious that you can see that they're lying, right? But if they know their number is just astonishing, they don't want to admit it. Well, I haven't had not that many. Well, not that many is relative, right? I slept with a lot of guys, but I've only had one serious partner. Oh, well. Oh, look, did you see how she looked off to the side right there at the end? Now here comes this girl, the liar right here. Watch. I never counted, but
We counted, but I'd say it's in the teens, early 20s.
in the teens, early 20s. Look how sure of herself she is. You see, when she actually, this is why they had to do 2 takes on this girl, because in the beginning she's like, oh Jesus, and then she says, hold on, give me some time. She had to think of something. I have to make it believable. I need to make my number believable, but I need to look believable. She had time to rehearse this because they asked her that question. She didn't answer to me. She says, oh my God, but that's because her numbers are the triple digits. And then she's, well, I never really counted. Well, if you never really counted, then how do you know your number is in the teens and 20s? And look how sure she is. I don't see any signs of deception. I see no signs of deception, guys. This means that this girl had time to think about this. She rehearsed this lie. Let's watch this again. This is funny.
We counted.
No, look, I haven't really counted. And then she shook her head a second time as if, oh my God, no, I never really counted because I didn't want to. This is so funny. But
I'd say it's in the teens, early 20s.
You know what? I tell a lie. She says it's in the teens, early 20s. She's shaking her head. What's coming out of her mouth? It's so funny. Women that aren't dark triad, but women are simply incapable of telling a complete lie. She looks at the end that she believes it, but then she shakes her head. Watch how she shakes her head. Watch. And when she shakes her head twice, it's almost like she doesn't know this is not the truth, but it's going to come out of my mouth anyway. Watch.
But I'd say it's in the teens.
Look at her.
Early 20s.
That's so funny. She's like, it's almost as though she's talking to herself. It's almost as though she's talking to herself and she just doesn't believe what she is saying. You know what? I'm going to turn the sound down on this, and let's rewatch this with the sound down. And I want you guys to see it's almost as though she is talking to herself and that she is looking in the mirror and that she knows she doesn't even buy this lie. Watch, just watch. Look, she's like, no, you're not telling me the truth, sweetie. You're lying. Do you see that? Oh my goodness. Holy smokes, man. Holy smokes. So that was entertaining, to be sure. But let's go to the article part here. Let me take this down. Okay, so the article that accompanied this was entitled, I told my boyfriend how many people I'd slept with and he didn't like the answer. It says, quote, my boyfriend can't get over how many people I've slept with. I shouldn't have told him, but he pressed me for the info. Gentlemen, I say this all the time. Never, ever ask your wife or girlfriend how many guys she slept with. It's a bad idea. It doesn't matter what number she gives. The number is always going to be too high, guys. It doesn't matter if it's 12 or 212. You're never going to be okay with the number. I'm telling you right now. And again, I said this in a previous video. Men of value, we don't ask our women what their notch count is for a reason, because we know that her notch count is exorbitant. We're trying to focus on who she's trying to become, not on who she was. Now, of course, we take precautions, right? Because we know all women have high body counts. We take precautions to make sure that we don't get got, but we don't really want to know. Listen, all we know is that you've slept with a lot of guys. We don't need to know any of the details. So she says he was, quote, nerdy for most of, it says you're nerdy for most of high school and college and just started coming into his own in his mid to late 20s. I've been dating consistently for years and have had my fair share of hookups and relationships. I've been dating consistently for years. Translation, I've been sleeping around for years. I love how women call sleeping around dating now. Well, they were all my boyfriends when we slept together. Yeah, that doesn't apply when you've had 6 boyfriends in 6 days, hon. It doesn't work that way. Then she says, and while I don't think my number is crazy at all, he can't deal with the transparency. I don't think my number is crazy at all. Of course you don't think your number is crazy at all. You can't think it's crazy. You got to sleep at night. You got to live with that number. Well, 83 guys really isn't that bad. I mean, Roxy's had sex with at least 100 guys, so compared to her, I'm practically a virgin. When they say not that many or my number is low, understand this, gentlemen. Those numbers are relative, okay? Unless they give you an exact figure, saying that their number is low is them saying it's low to me. And a low notch count to a girl is 25. Well, I haven't really slept with that many guys, only 25, right? And guess what? It's not that he can't handle it. No, sweetheart, your notch count repulses him. When when she says this, he can't handle it, it's almost as though she is shaming him for not being, quote, man enough to handle her, quote, transparency. No, baby girl, he caught feelings for you. And now that he knows you're a petri dish, he's at odds with himself. So she continues. She says, we've been dating for 2 years and we're serious. I don't want to break up. How can I handle this? So then I guess the advice, I forget who gives her this advice. It's obviously a woman. So the advice goes, quote, I agree that you probably shouldn't have told him, but lots of people fall into the trap of discussing their sexual history with their current partner. And I get it. If you trust someone, it's natural to want to talk about what you learned from past relationships and sexual experiences. That said, numbers aren't really necessary and rarely do anything aside from making one person feel bad. Making one person feel bad. Check this out. Anytime you guys exchange notch counts, it only makes one person feel bad, and it's always the dude. If a girl finds out that you've had sex with 200 chicks, she's not going to be like, oh my God, I can't believe it. I'm so turned off. No, she's going to act like it bothers her because she knows she's supposed to act like it. But then 18 seconds later, she's dying to know why 200 women allowed him to have sex with them and hopes against all hopes that he uses those same techniques on her. No, it is always the dude who feels bad. Here's another woman trying to act like men and women are the same and have the same circumstances. A man who sleeps with a lot of women is not the same as a woman who sleeps with a lot of men. It doesn't work that way no matter how much they want it to. She continues, she says, but you can't go back. And his reaction may have provoked an important conversation, she says. After all, this isn't an issue of who has slept with more people. It's about his comfort with his past. And it's about both of you establishing that your needs are being met by this relationship. Comfort with his past? What does his past have to do with anything? No. It's her past that's got him twisted. Right? Like, dude, like she says, this isn't an issue of who slept with more people. Yes, it is. It is always an issue. And it's not, no, she's right. It's not an issue of who slept with more people. It is an issue that my girlfriend has slept with 200 plus guys. That's a problem. And then she goes on with this, while establishing that your needs are blah, blah, blah. Bruh. This expert in this little paragraph literally just talked a bunch of gibberish. That whole paragraph, none of that made any sense whatsoever. That was just a bunch of psychobabble. That meant nothing. Comfort with his past, and it's both of you establishing that your needs are being met by this. No, that doesn't mean anything. Ay. Let's continue. She says, first, you have to figure out the problem you are tackling because it will change the course of action. Problem number 1. Does your boyfriend feel like he's missing out? She says, quote, did your confession trigger his hidden desire to play the field? Or fears that he hasn't experienced enough sexually before settling down? Timing is crucial. And if a relationship is going to bud into a long-term partnership, both parties need to quell their doubts. I often talk to couples where one partner has experienced a lot of love and sex in their teens and 20s and is ready to make a commitment, while the other person, who has a limited, more romantic past, is not. Guys, this is so funny. I talk to couples where one partner, no, you talk to partners where the woman has slept with more dudes than the man has slept with women. Like, it's so funny how these people think we don't know they're talking about women. Seriously. Well, I talk with one partner who's experienced a lot more love and sex in their teens and 20s. That's women, sweetheart. Like, get out of here with that. Anyway, she continues. She says, to some extent, this is about FOMO, fear of missing out, but it is also based in reality. If you haven't kissed a few frogs, how do you know you found your prince or princess? Oh my God. If you haven't kissed a few frogs, this again is giving her, she's trying to make this girl feel better about the fact that she slept with a lot of guys. Well, you can't find your prince if you haven't kissed a few frogs. Then she tried to conflate it with the man, which is not what really we're talking about here. She says, if this is the case, you need to ask your boyfriend if he feels the need to date and explore more. Will he think he's missed out sexually years from now? Is he willing to throw away something quote unquote good because he thinks there's something better out there? Or is he willing to forego other options, believing the grass isn't always greener? You might not like his answer, but it is important to find out. So problem number 1, we need to figure out the problem. The problem here, sweetheart, is that his girl has been ran through. Okay, there ain't nothing complicated here about that. That is the problem. Dude, the name of the article is I told my boyfriend how many guys I slept with, and he has a problem with it. That's the problem. Number 2, there is no hidden desire to play the field for men. Dudes want to play the field. Here's another thing. There isn't fear that he hasn't experienced enough sexually. There's no fear with that. He is regretful, right? He is regretful. That's not fear. That's regret. And again, going back to the kissed a few frogs. Listen, sweet, and I'm talking to the dating expert here. I don't even know what her name is. It doesn't even matter. This ain't about frogs and princesses, gentlemen. Life ain't a fairy tale. Frogs and that's got nothing to do with anything. Again, this woman is just using gibberish word salad to make herself sound intelligent about intersexual dynamics, which she clearly is not because she's a woman. Then she asks, well, he feels he needs to date and explore. Again, this isn't about any of that stuff. It's about his girlfriend having a lot more sexual partners than he's okay with. This isn't psychological. This is simple. The dude hates that his girl has slept around, and that is all there is to it. Problem number 2, she asks, does your boyfriend feel you've slept with with too many people? Spoiler alert. Yes, of course he does. What kind of question is that? Does your boyfriend feel you slept with too many people? Like, for serious? You're actually asking that? That was her question. That was her question. I told my boyfriend how many people I slept with, and he lost his mind. So then this dating relationship expert, Jenna Birch right there down there at the bottom. Down there at the bottom, she says, does your boyfriend feel like you've slept with too many people? Dude, she did not answer this girl's question. Holy smokes. She says, quote, I'm going to assume that you rightly know your number of sexual partners does not define you. Does not define you. Oh, here we go. You know, it's funny when women who say my number doesn't define me. It's funny when they say that, but it means exactly that. A woman's notch count, a woman's body count does define her. You take a woman who has slept with 200 guys and a woman who has slept with 2 guys. Those are two different people, and really probably anatomically at this point, probably 2 different species. With as much DNA as in the girl who slept with 200 guys. I mean, dude, she's like a different species, right? But seriously thinking, a woman's notch count does define her. This is why women are always lying about their notch count, because they know it matters. And don't get me wrong, guys. I understand that this relationship expert is trying to make this girl feel better about having been passed around, but what's done is done. That's just all there is to it. Let's see. She continues. She says, perhaps your boyfriend believes the same thing on a rational level. And if he doesn't, well, you don't need me to tell you how problematic and misogynistic that is. If that's it, in fact, if that's the case, your conflict might boil down to a difference in values and turn into a deal breaker. But I'm going to guess there's more to it than that. No, that is all there is to it. And this has nothing to do with differences in values. Women shouldn't sleep around. That's what this comes down to. So let me just get this straight. Let me just go back to the misogynistic thing. If it bothers a man that his girlfriend has had at least 97 partners, because we always know, we know it's always more than they say, he's a misogynist. Do you guys see how this works here in today's world? A woman can have standards and requirements, but men can't. A woman can say she wants a man who's at least 6 feet tall, looks a certain way, makes a certain amount of money, and she's got standards. But a man who's bothered by a woman sleeping around is a misogynist? This is how it works, guys. Women can have standards, but men can't. Gotcha. Let's continue. Oh, here we go. You see, she says, eons and eons of toxic masculinity has taught men that they need to be sexually confident and experienced. And a lot of men struggle with living out what they proclaim to get. That it's okay for a woman to have had more sexual partners because it somehow makes them feel ashamed. Toxic masculinity. Jesus Christ. How many times do I have to keep telling these women that men and women are different? A woman who sleeps around is viewed differently than a man who sleeps around. And most of the judgment for women who sleep around comes from who? Other women. Dude, women show more misogyny than men. So now she tells him, ask your boyfriend what he rationally believes. Do you think my sexual number defines me? I'm guessing that hearing how crazy that sounds might provoke an honest conversation about where his actual insecurity lies. Ay, ay, ay. So a man is bothered by a woman's notch count, and now he's insecure, right? So let's go down the list here. Girl says that she slept with 76 guys or whatever crazy number she gave him, and her boyfriend loses her mind, right? So she's the one that slept around, right? But the boyfriend can't handle it. He's misogynistic and he's insecure about something that she did, about something that you, the woman, dating relationship expert, females do most of the shaming. This is unbelievable. This is unbelievable. She says perhaps it's a fear that he is not a real man. There goes that man shaming. Perhaps it's a worry that, wait a minute, hold on. Yes, perhaps it's a worry that he's not sexually experienced enough to be good in bed. She says, dumb I know, but men think this way. Yes, that's exactly what it is. So he finds out you slept with 216 guys. Of course he's going to be a little bit insecure. Well, dude, she's had sex with 216 guys. I've had sex with what? 8 girls? I'm not going to be I'm never going to be able to give her that kind of good sex. This is what guys think. Dumb I know, but men think this way. Yes, we do think this way. She ends it with, if you're both committed to each other, the conversation will only bring you closer, help you grow more secure, and enable you to move past this roadblock. After all, sex is way more fun when you are doing less accounting. No, sweetheart. Listen, you know what? Actually, sex is more fun when you're doing less accounting because you don't have to think about the other 117 phalluses that have been inside of your girlfriend. Ay, ay, ay. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.